Welcome back to Rise and Shine. I'm joined by Senator Jim Risch. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing?
Good. Glad to be down here.
Well, we've got some questions for you.
Sure.
So we're coming off the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. How difficult is it to get things back on track after that?
They actually come back pretty quickly because even though the government was shut down, Congress wasn't. We're working, we were in session, and so I think for some of the agencies it was maybe a little harder to crank up, but this is my third or fourth government shutdown. When we had a government shutdown in the old days, the government was shut down. But now, most everybody works. There's only a smaller number that don't come into work. So it wasn't that hard to get back up and running.
And one of the things that caused the shutdown was healthcare.
Right.
So where do we go from here and what's being done about it?
Well, the first thing we're trying to do is stop a government shutdown from ever happening again. Since I've been there, I've been the co-sponsor of a bill to stop the government shutdown, so that the way a government shutdown happens is the beginning of the year is October 1st. We're supposed to have all the appropriation spending bills done by October 1st. If they're not done, then you go into a shutdown. Well, there's no need to do that. We've got a bill that it's partisan. I don't know why. The Republicans always vote for it. The Democrats don't. But what it says simply is when you get to that point, if you haven't made a deal, government keeps on operating, but you keep on operating at the same level. It's what they call a clean continuing resolution. There's no enhancements on it or anything like that. You just keep going along. That way you don't have this upheaval you get with a shutdown, which is it's difficult for particularly for people who count on certain parts of the government. Most people don't count on the government for a significant part of their life. But you take a single mom with a few kids, they got to have those SNAP benefits, period. They need them, and to have them cut off, it's just not, it simply isn't right. And there's people who have decided to go to work for the government that the government hired, and again, if they don't get a paycheck, now they all get paid at the end, but in the meantime, you got to live. So in this one, they missed 2 or 3 paychecks, and that's tough on people. We shouldn't do this. It's just common sense to not do it. We're going to keep trying to pass that.
Okay, and so for people who are struggling with the health care, there is things being done to work that out.
Health care is absolutely critical, and everybody gets it back there. We do have a basic difference between Republicans and Democrats on health care. When I first got there was during Obamacare, and Obama had been elected. They had both the House and the Senate, and they took insurance and health care, and they moved what had been an industry that was operated by the free market system, the capitalist system, by the people, moved it to a government-operated system. And they did it by taking charge of the insurance companies, putting the regulations on the insurance companies, and they said it was the Affordable Care Act. I said at the time, we said at the time, is not affordable, and it isn't going to work. And that's exactly what happened. We went into COVID. It was getting even more expensive. They put these horrendous subsidies on it. And then, because they wanted it to look not quite so expensive, they made it expire at the end of 5 years. That takes off a lot of what they call the scoring or the valuing of it. So that ends on December 31st of this year. No Republicans voted for Obamacare. No Republicans voted for the subsidies that they gave with it. And no Republican voted for the cliff. And now they're saying this is a Republican problem and you got to fix it. Well, that doesn't make us happy. Nonetheless, Americans deserve better than what they got. We're working on it. We think there's some things that we can do that both sides will be able to agree to that at least will take the rough edges off of it.
And one of the things that was agreed to was opening the Epstein files. And everybody came together on that. Why was that such a priority?
You know, I can't really answer. Most of that fight was in the House. We got it at the end. It was a no-brainer for me. Look, I believe in transparency, openness. We had it in front of us. I voted for it. Mike Crapo voted for it. The president signed it. That's where we're headed.
What do you think it would take for everyone to come together again on issues like groceries or health care?
Groceries are important. You know, right now, I think probably the biggest issue for American people is affordability. And that's across the board, whether it's health care, whether it's groceries, or very important, housing. Housing is something that needs a lot more attention than what it's got. We're working on that right now. We have a number of avenues open to us where we can do better in the housing area. Look, it's a matter of law of supply and demand. There aren't enough houses. It's that simple. There's enough houses if you're buying a high-end house. But if you're buying a starter house, it's impossible. They just aren't there. There's some things we can do with tax credits and that sort of thing that are going to help open that up. We hope to get that done quickly, and it's the same thing as far as food is concerned.
And I know you go around talking to people in our community and the agriculture industry. What have you been hearing from them as far as just the state of agriculture and their workers?
Yeah. Well, first of all, down here in the Magic Valley, what I hear, and I love to hear, is thank you for stopping Lava Ridge. That was a huge issue down here, and as everybody knows, I took that seriously and took it on personally. I know President Trump quite well, and said this is what we should do, and he said bring me a pen, and that's what we did, and it's gone, it's done, it's over. So I hear a lot of that from down here. It's from the thank you standpoint. With the farming community, there's parts of the farming community that are doing relatively well, such as beef, and then there's others that aren't. And a lot of that has to do with tariffs. We're doing a lot better on tariffs. We need to do better. We're urging the president to do better. We help him along a little sometimes in that regard. And it's going to continue, I really believe, to get significantly better.
And have you heard anything about the concerns about their workforce and having skilled labor here?
Yeah, a lot. Obviously, the dairy industry is really important down here. Dairy industry, as we all know, operates with a lot of immigrant labor. I just met with a group, in fact, that's where I came from before I was here, on that exact issue. They actually were appreciative of the things that have happened recently in the Trump administration in the H-2A side of things. It's not perfect. It's a long way from being perfect, but it's getting better. They gave me some ideas that I thought were important. We're going to continue to make that better. It needs to be better, has to be better.
And can people reach out to you with any concerns?
Sure. I've got 6 offices in Idaho, one right here in Twin Falls, run by Mike Matthews. Everybody knows Mike. He's lived here for a long time. We're always open, and if somebody has a problem or they got a question or they want to give us some input, don't assume that we know about it. We think we got a pretty good handle on a lot of stuff, but pick up the phone or text us or email us. We want to get that. Look, the only reason you do this is to make America and make Idaho better than what it was. You want to leave it. You want to address problems. You want to make it better than what it is and leave it better for those who come after. Can't do that unless I know the problem. So we know generally the problems. I heard a specific one this morning on a particular item that I had not heard of, which is really interesting because you think you hear of everything. We hear of lots of stuff. But call us, drop us a line, email us. We want to hear from you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And
thank you.
We will be right back.